Hi, how's everybody doing today? Clint the audio guy here, back to show you a new amplifier we have on demo here at Xtend Technologies. This one is probably the most iconic amplifier of all time. We needed some more tube products in the showroom, and I thought what perfect way to show off some tubes than to get the McIntosh MC275 amplifier. This amp was first released in 1961, so it's really a product of probably the late 50s of design. And when Stereophile reviewed it in 2010, they said they couldn't believe that this was engineered so long ago because it measured so well. Now this is that was the predecessor to this one. Each generation gets better. And this is the 6th generation of the MC275 amplifier. Along the way, there's been different connectivity that's out of date, that's not used anymore. And there has been improvements across the board. Signal to noise ratio has improved. The original one got released at, I think, 90 dB, 90 decibel signal noise ratio. This one is 105. And if you figure to get 3 more dB out of an amplifier, you have to double the power. 15 dB is an absolute massive improvement. And it takes the noise in the system below audibility, really. So for a tube amp, that's extremely impressive. The amplifier is it's a heavy little chunk. On the compact side, it's a little smaller than you'd expect. You've got it's 67 pounds. There's these 3 big transformers here. You've got the power transformer for the amplifier, and then you've got the unity coupled output transformers, or the autoformers, for the left and right channels. Those are what kind of revolutionized the amplifier in its day, but also you get the full power of the amplifier no matter what impedance speaker you have. So they have taps, it has taps on it for 4 ohm, 8 ohm, and 16 ohm. So you can choose between those. It's got really nice heavy duty binding posts. I think these are the same binding posts on my monoblock Mac amps at home. They're pretty beefy. You've got a balanced input and single-ended, and the amp is rated at 75 watts a channel, but when Stereophile tested it, they got 90 watts a channel into 4 ohms. I think they got 85 into 8 ohms, and they got 92 into 16 ohms, I believe, if my memory is correct. So it's always very underrated, so you can expect more like 85, 90 watts a channel. Then it's also bridgeable, so there's a switch to go to mono, so you can bridge the amp, and then you get 150 watts a channel. And I know the guys at Audio Excellence, they make some reviews too that said that the amp turns into a whole different beast when it's at 150 watts. So getting a pair of these, if you get 2 of them, bridge them, and power a bigger, more power-hungry pair of speakers, I think you're going to see some nice improvements in the dynamics and the slam that this amplifier can put out. But as it is, and for my listening, this is actually plenty of watts. I know when I'm cranking my stereo at home, I get to about 12 watts, and that's about as loud as I want to go. That's pretty loud in the room. And of course, it's going to depend on the sensitivity of your speakers too, as to how many watts you really need. But my speakers at home are about 93 dB, so 12 watts at 93 dB efficient speaker, that's pretty loud in my room. Anyway, the amp has been around for a long time. I mean, it's gorgeous. It's a piece of artwork in your room. When it was released, it was $444, if my research is correct. Today, in the US, it's about $6,500, and it's going to vary in your market and when you're watching this video, because as time moves on, so does inflation. but it was a couple months' salary or so back then for somebody earning a decent living, and it's about that now. So things haven't changed too much there. It comes with but you are getting a much better product now. That is the one thing, because we're on version 6 here. So everything's been improved. You get a really nice tube cage with it, and I thought, oh, who wants to cover up that, because that's gorgeous, right? But then I put the cage on and realized, oh, here we go, that it looks really nice. So I actually think I'm going to leave the cage on. Just because of the global situation right now of parts availability and supply and everything, everybody's back ordered on stuff. This took us about 7 months to get, so if you want one, get your order in. We just take a deposit and then put it on order for you, and then the wait begins. But those wait times, they tell me, are going to be coming down because they're expanding at the factory and they're putting on more shifts, and they've got new wings that can handle more loads, so they're going to be turning out product quicker and get those wait times down, hopefully. I bought one myself, so I was waiting too. So I was pretty excited to get it, though. So anyway, after listening to it, it is a very nice piece, and I couldn't imagine wanting much more. So I'll show you a clip of the turn-on sequence too, which is pretty cool. When you turn the power switch on, the small tubes in the front light up amber, and they go across one at a time as they're testing the tubes, as the amp is testing the tubes. And then they'll turn green when the amplifier is ready to be used. That's kind of neat. Also, the LEDs in there will turn red in front if there's a problem with one of the power tubes in the back. So if one of the power tubes went, because it is a consumable part, if one of the power tubes goes, the little tubes in front of it will light up red to let you know that that's the affected tube, and then you can replace it. But anyway, if you want to take a listen, I'll be happy to play it for you. This is kind of what I do here. I love to talk audio at Xtend Technologies, so stop by and take a listen. Here we have the MAC7200, which I've previously stated was, I think, the highest value piece in the McIntosh line because it has basically everything. But we're using the second outputs on it as the pre-outs to the MC275 amp. So you can listen to this in solid state, and then you can also listen to it with a tube amp on it. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good one.